everyone, and welcome to this annual celebration of the Columbus Day Parade in Revere 1992. I'm Maureen Hayes, hosting for Continental Cablevision and joined by KBLE sportscaster Al DiTullio. As you know, it's a very special parade this year because we're celebrating the quincentennial, which is the 500th anniversary of Columbus's voyage in 1492. Once again, the parade was put together by the city's parade committee under the Haas administration. That is chaired by city tax collector George Anzoni. To mention the other members, the vice chair is Kathy Bowden. Other members, Bill Ash, Paul Cacciola, the mayor's assistant, Robert Fitzgerald, Michael Pepe, Mark Signori, and Thomas Flynn. For those of you who don't know, the usual route of the parade starts at the Chelsea end of Broadway, comes down Broadway, around to Revere Street, and ends at the Paul Revere School. We'll be giving you a little play-by-play here from the stand in front of St. Anthony's Church, which they're nice enough to put out for us every year. And the performers will pause here, and also the city officials will come up here, Al, and watch the parade and kind of get the best view in the house, I guess.
I guess so. It should be for an interesting parade. And also, Maureen, point out to the viewers at home that this is going to be one of the best parades that the city has seen in almost it's the 500th centennial of the parade today, so it should be interesting. In addition to that, as well as the local and the state officials marching in today's parade, we're going to have 5 divisions of great, spectacular people marching in the parade, 90 separate things for everyone to see, so there's going to be something there for everyone. It's also a great day for a parade, Maureen. And without further ado, are you ready to go to the parade?
Well, I think one thing we should point out is probably the funding.
Right.
That was an important point.
Right. We should also point out to the viewers at home that it's private funding made up of Massport, Showcase Cinemas, and Dean and Flynn. And we thank them very much, especially in tough economic times that we're in right now.
Sure.
And are you ready to go?
I'm ready to go. Let's enjoy the parade, everybody. It looks like we're off and running, Al. The 1992 Columbus Day Parade is officially underway here. Looking at all the people out here, it's a beautiful day. I think mid-60s, at least 60 degrees. Little breeze, but not too bad.
The weather couldn't be perfecter for a parade like this today.
More perfect, I think, would be.
Right, that would be more appropriate.
More appropriate. And you can see the police van there is perched in the street, trying to clear some people off to the side. We have vendors and parents and children and you name it. Everyone's out lining the side of the roads. We have the food vendors, the political supporters, lots of balloons.
It's nice to see a nice crowd out here today, Maureen.
Right. Just, you know, as I was mentioning, there's just people of all ages out here. A lot of children, which is great because this is a parade, you know, thrilling for them with all the characters and a lot of fun.
There's something for everyone in this parade here today.
Right. So we're watching the Revere Police starting off the parade. The sirens going. You can see Lieutenant Chalk in there, driving, clearing the way. I didn't see the motorcycle escort, so I guess that was changed this year, and we had a car and a van. And who would this be marching behind them, Al?
Right now, it's the Boston University Air Force ROTC.
Okay, you can see them saluting to the crowd, the Boston University Air Force ROTC. And as they pass by, Al, this is what everyone's waiting for, right? To kick off the parade.
Right.
And the official Italian name they have down here, the Cristoforo Colombo.
You do that so well, Maureen.
Cristoforo Colombo. Happy Columbus Day 1992. And who might that be this year? We've got, he looks like the assessor, Richard DeMarco, who just went by there. Last year it was Frank Stringy, the city planner. And I believe before that, Patsy Tata. And the Christopher Colombo float that you saw go by there, kind of heading around the corner where the parade route ends at the Paul Revere School. The float was beautifully decorated there.
Very well done.
He usually marches some of the years. We see Christopher Columbus marching around, but they had a float this year, and that was nice. It takes a lot to make a float, a lot of work goes in.
A lot of hard work, a lot of
designing it.
dedicated hours go into something like that.
Right, you like to
Maureen.
have it a little glitzy or whatever your style is, and that was a nice float for Christopher Columbus. You can see
And-
the crowds here as we go down, and the vendors, the balloons. Not as much silly string I noticed this year, which is of course illegal, but you see the children running around with the string, but it looks really nice and clean, and everyone's doing a great job.
And coming up the street are the Knights of Columbus.
And this is always a thrill to see them out in costume, proud of this day, Columbus Day, especially with the quincentennial, the 500th anniversary. So this is really, really special. And I'm sure the Knights are feeling that as they're walking down the road here. Once again, the Knights of Columbus marching by, getting applause from the crowd.
And we see someone very famous in the crowd, Richard Scanelli.
Right. Dressed in costume there, waving at the crowd. The Revere Knights of Columbus. Richard is waving his flag there and marching along in costume, having a great time.
And some of the other members coming up alongside.
Waving to the crowd, and that's great. That's a lot of fun for them. You can hear the sirens, and I think we know what that means as we hear the sirens coming down the road. Who else could it be but?
The city's finest, the Revere Police Department.
That's right, Al. In their formal dress, which always looks nice, I think, to see the force.
They look so sharp in their formal dress, Maureen.
Right. In their dress blues there. Chief Harold Fulton leading the pack there, waving to the crowd. Nice applause from the crowd. Nice to see their department out like this. A little more personal touch. We also see the fire chief there, Arthur Anderson, walking side by side with Chief Harold Fulton. So we have the Revere firemen in their formal dress and the Revere police in their formal dress.
It's nice to see both organizations in the city of Revere marching side by side.
Side by side, the two chiefs we saw there, Arthur Anderson, Harold Fulton. We're looking right now at a character there, and you can guess who that is.
It's Bob Rufo.
It's Sheriff Bob Rufo. But I was saying, is that McGruff the crime dog there that we were looking at? Sheriff Bob Rufo waving to the crowd. And we see here Suffolk County Sheriff's Department. Members of the Suffolk County Sheriff's Department here, putting on quite a show of sirens, I might say. Bob Rufo, and you can see that it's also a big time for sign holding with elections coming up.
And we wish Sheriff Bob Rufo all the best in the upcoming election.
As well as his opponent for a fair shake there. We saw the Blessed Era signs going by there as well for Sheriff.
And these folks need no further introduction, as it's the Boston College Marching Band, who do a great job every Saturday afternoon when the Boston College football team was doing very well thus far in the season for play.
You know all about that, Al.
A team that's near and dear to my heart, Maureen.
They look great here, the BC Marching Band and their uniforms. Beautiful with the gold and the maroon. Really nice, sharp uniforms.
Playing the famous fight song of Boston College.
Boston College Marching Band rounding the corner there. A colorful street that makes. They seem to have spaced it out well, Al. It gives people a chance to absorb what's just gone by as the next group comes around the bend. And that's nice. It kind of keeps it going for everyone.
And coming up the street, this is Honor the Mayor, Bob Hass.
That's right. And followed by the City Council, school committee members, Representative Ron Giannino from the Northeast Vocational School.
And members of the school committee as well.
Right. We've got the mayor, Bob Hass, there waving. His first parade as mayor of the city, 1992.
Must be a special moment for His Honor the Mayor, Bob Hass,
Right,
marching
a
in his
nice
first
year.
one.
And to be the quincentennial also is nice. So we see Councilor Dick Penn and Councilor Caparelli, Tom Ambrosino from the school committee.
Also Peter Martino.
Peter Martino, Stephen Colarossi from the council. Joe Del Grosso, all dressed and marching along. Getting a lot of calls from the crowd, shaking hands.
And a few of the other elected officials here in the city of Revere, Representative Bob DeLeo, Linda Rosa, Patsy Tater, and of course Councilor Al Fiore.
Right. You see State Representative Bob DeLeo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Linda Rosa. All waving to the crowd, marching along. And it is a good time, Al, a fun day for everyone to maybe shake a few hands and just be part of it.
That's what parades are all about, Maureen. Brings out the best in people.
Right. We're used to seeing Representative Reinstein marching, but we don't know if we've missed him or if he's got something up his sleeve and will maybe come down in costume or something.
We have a little bit of a delay, Maureen, as Paul Cacciolo from the mayor's office has informed us. So to the folks at home, there is a little bit of a delay because we had an emergency in the city of Revere, and we assure you that the parade is coming up. Just bear with us, and we'll be bringing it to you very shortly.
There was also a lot going on before the parade as the groups were organizing and getting themselves together down the southern end of Broadway.
I think that's the difficult part of it, Maureen, is getting the organizations together, getting them here on time, going over the last-minute details. That's the difficult part, is getting everything coordinated and getting everything put together. The committee that organized this should really pat themselves on the back for a great job thus far. They've done an excellent job. And we should also point out this is the weekend for the Knights of Columbus with their big drive as far as the retarded children in the city of Revere. What they do is they go out and they ask folks for donations and they give them Tootsie Rolls, and through that they're able to raise much needed funds for the Knights of Columbus, who help out with many organizations as far as the Revere retarded go.
Sure.
And coming up the street in the Division 1 will be the Satyrs Drum and Bugle Corps. A little bit background on them. They are a senior drum and bugle corps made up of several drum and bugle corps throughout eastern Massachusetts. A couple of the famous groups that have members marching today are the Boston Crusaders and the Lancers. So they're an interesting group. They've only been in existence for a couple of years, and they are an excellent, excellent group.
So we hope they'll stop here, Al, and give us a little performance. So would you say they're the best of the best?
They are the best of the best because they are the cream of the crop when it comes to drum and bugle corps. They are excellent.
Okay, we'll be hearing that in a minute. You can see the flags, the Satyrs Drum and Bugle Corps. Now we hear it, Al. Now we start to hear it. Once again, the Satyrs Drum and Bugle Corps. And Al, you can give us a little rundown again just to reiterate as they continue on by.
To our viewers at home, the Satyrs are a senior drum and bugle corps made up of senior drum and bugle corps members from several organizations throughout the state. A couple of the most famous groups, the Boston Crusaders and the Lancers. Two excellent groups, and you saw why they are considered one of the best groups in the state, Maureen.
Right, and I hope that sounds as good for viewers as it does for us here. We love to hear the music, and just like the DJs, we try not to talk over the music, right, Al? We know how everyone loves that. The parade is back in full force. We're seeing a group of supporters for Congressman Ed Markey going by.
And of course, Bill Reinstein.
And there he is. Just as I predicted.
Bill Reinstein looking dapper as he always does, enjoying the crowd, waving to them, showing...
Ed Markey. Congressman Ed Markey and his wife you saw going by there, and Bill Reinstein's on the side. State Representative Bill Reinstein waving to the crowd, dressed and looking wonderful.
Always has time for his constituents in the city of Revere and also in Malden. He's always available, always out.
You saw the sign and you see the green uniforms, and we did a story on them for the Revere News not too long ago, and it's really a great group. So I guess we're officially in Division 2 here, or well, a little bit lingering into Division 1. We've got candidates here for sheriff for Suffolk County.
And we wish him well in the upcoming election.
Okay, once again, we're watching the Columbus Day Parade here, and candidates listed in Division 1 of the 5 divisions of the parade. We're seeing Virgil Aiello for Governor's Council. Looking at his signs coming down the road, Virgil Aiello for Governor's Council. A lot of candidates we saw marching here in the parade, state and local candidates. And it is a political city, so in a large sense, it's a day for candidates to come out, but most of all for the music and for the children. I jumped there, Al.
So did I, Maureen. And that's the 10th Massachusetts Volunteer Militia in full costume.
10th Regiment Massachusetts Volunteer Militia. See Northampton on the side of the drum there. Now, are those the Civil War costumes there?
Yes,
Al?
they are. They are the Civil War costumes.
Uniforms, we should say. And now we're looking at a beautiful, beautiful float of the American flag. We're officially in Division 2 of the parade. Beautiful float of the American flag. And how does the saying go, Al? How we treated says a lot about us, and we know that from the public service announcements we play.
And coming into view, the New England Patriot cheerleaders. One of our own, Deanne Mantilla.
Right here from Revere, the 3 Patriot cheerleaders, New England Patriot cheerleaders riding the front of the float. And you met Dee on your show, Al, and
Very pleasant young lady. We wish the New England Patriots the best of luck. Who knows, maybe their season will turn around very shortly.
okay, and who's going by here, Al? I saw a Navy flag there marching by.
It's the Roma Band. Another very famous band from Massachusetts who are based out of the north end of Boston, the historical north end of Boston, Maureen.
The Roma Band. You see the colors of Italy there on the flag. These folks look like they're having a great time.
They certainly are. They really get up to things like this. They love to perform at parades as well as concerts. And many of the Sons of Italy programs that are held throughout the state, they contact the Roma Band, and the Roma Band is more than willing to come out and perform, and they have to be commended. They do an outstanding job as well.
I see the date 1919 on the side of the drum there, and I'm assuming that's when they were formed.
That's correct, Maureen. They were
quite a
formed in
while.
1919.
That be the Military Order of the Cootie we see there going by? We always like the costumes, colorful costumes there. And there's the, I don't think, the Military Order of the Cootie there, you can see the bug there on the side of the car, the symbol. Veterans of foreign wars from World War I, serving in France.
And
Military Order of the Cootie. Okay.
And coming into view now is the Dartmouth High School Marching Band.
And those are the colors you see there in the green and white. Beautiful demonstration with the flags and the colors once again. The Dartmouth High School Marching Band, and it's good to see all the different high school bands from all around coming to Revere for the Revere Columbus Day Parade. Adds a lot of color, adds a lot of talent, and it just shows how important a parade it is. Dartmouth High School Marching Band.
Again, very colorful uniforms.
Green and gold. Okay, another Veterans of Foreign Wars, the Ladies Auxiliary. Post and auxiliary. Celebrating Veterans of Foreign Wars. The Matola Post and auxiliary. Now we're we're seeing another float here, Al, and I don't think these folks need any introduction.
They certainly don't.
The Land of Liberty, it says, and you see the statue on the front. You see Big Bird, Olive Oil, and Popeye.
A few of the other famous
Cookie
characters.
Monster. And that's great. Another beautiful float. It adds a lot to the parade. We didn't have as many floats last year, and this is very colorful, and I guess the characters are getting a rest on their legs this year. Last year they were marching, which is also fun for the kids to get to go right up and touch them and shake their hands, so I hope they mingle on through after they get off the float around the corner. But the floats are really, really nice.
And the floats that we've seen, Maureen, they've been so colorfully decorated. Without floats and marching bands, it really wouldn't be a parade. They add just so much color and glitter to parades.
There were supposed to be over 30 costumed characters in this parade today, including characters like Winnie the Pooh, Donald Duck, and so on, which we haven't seen yet. So far, I guess it's just been McGruff the Crime Dog for one, and the characters you just saw there going by on the float. Big Bird and others.
I'm sure they're in the parade somewhere. I'm sure they're out there.
Things can always get a little out of order too, Al, so you go by your list or you go by what's coming around the bend, and we just hope we don't leave anyone out because it is a thrill to be recognized for marching today. And there we see a group there going by from the Agnes Strecker Dance Studio. The Agnes Strecker Dance Studio. Watching the dancers from the Agnes Strecker Dance Studio here in Revere. see that was the Agnes Strecker Dance Studio. We had a younger version and an older version there. The costumes were great. I thought that was fabulous. I
thought it was excellent. Both groups, both the youngsters and the older group, did an excellent job.
A lot of talent, I would say, especially in the older dancers there. That was really, really great.
All in great rhythm.
I'm choosing my favorites as we go along, and that may be one of them so far. So let's see who we have up next here.
As we are waiting for, I believe this is the Moose Hall. This is the local Moose Hall here in the city of Revere coming into view. The Moose. Okay. I'm corrected by Councilor Alfieri. It's the Moose.
Members of the Moose Lodge, you just saw there proudly strolling by. Members of the Revere Moose Lodge. Local group with their headquarters right here on Broadway. A lot of functions taking place at the Moose Hall. The St. Andrews Ladies Pipe Band we have here, Al. Coming up next, this is in Division 2, the St. Andrews Ladies Pipe Band.
Again, to our viewers at home, that's the St. Andrews Ladies Pipe Bands. And coming into view now is the Vietnam Veterans Workshop Group.
Right, the Homeless Veteran Honor Guard as well. Vietnam Veterans Workshop, Homeless Veteran Honor Guard. You are not forgotten, it says on the flag there.
That's right. They're an organization that defended our country so well when it was time for them to defend our country in the late 1960s.
And you can see the van says New England Shelter for Homeless Veterans. And now this is Doreen Cogliandro and the Revere Karate Academy. And they're formed a new competition team. They just got over their Boston Summer Open. And we'll see them do a demonstration for us here today.
Yes, this is the Columbus Day Parade. Check you out, Kelly.
Okay, once again, the Revere Karate Academy, led by Doreen Cogliandro. Watching a little sparring between Doreen, who runs the Karate Academy, and one of her top students.
And that gets the crowd going.
That just shows you, Al, how great that is for self-defense, for a little confidence building for the students who know how to defend themselves like that. It's also a lot of good exercise. The Revere Karate Academy, you see all ages, all shapes and sizes there. The Revere Karate Academy right here in Revere, also on Broadway.
It's amazing.
Different color belts.
Maureen, the thing that's interesting about this is how young they start out at. It's really amazing to watch the youngsters go through the levels that it takes to achieve a black belt. And starting at an early age, it's incredible to see them out here today.
The Greater Boston Pipe Band, and you know all about this one.
The Greater Boston Pipe Band, they practice in Watertown, Massachusetts. Its group is made up of very dedicated musicians. Its pipe major is Stuart Campbell, and they perform all over eastern Massachusetts. And let's hear a little bit about them, and we'll come back and we'll give you a little more about them in just a few minutes. Interesting side note to the Greater Boston Pipe Band that they had opened 2 concerts with Rod Stewart and U2. So some pretty impressive company there, Maureen.
Right, and quite a mix of music there. As you can hear, the styles are different there.
And just one quick side note, they also perform at Highland Games.
Okay. And this is 2 large pizzas for $9.99. The Domino's delivery truck that just went by there.
Maybe after the parade, Maureen, we'll call up and we'll get 2 pizzas for the 2 pizzas for the price of $9.99.
Right. Okay. Got another float here we're looking at. And this is the Council on Elder Affairs, the Revere Council on Elder Affairs, and that's the president up there in the front, Anthony Padova, you see waving and smiling, and just a great group there. You know what, Al, they're celebrating their golden wedding anniversary party this year coming up very soon. They have 100 couples, over 100 couples that have been married for 50 years or more, and they call that the Golden Wedding Club.
That's incredible. It's nice to see them out. It's nice to see their spirit high on a day like today.
Right, and you can see the
Just nice to
Italian
see them
flag
out.
on the float there, and once again another float. So I've seen a lot of beautiful floats, and that's a great group, and that will be a great party, and I can't wait to go back down again. We're seeing the silly string crowd marching in the opposite direction.
Well, that just adds to the parade, Maureen.
Or the whipped cream, or whatever it is, they're covered and they're going the opposite way. Okay, we see the Sons of Italy band from Haverhill. You can see the flags there. See the beautiful costumes
Again,
once
elegantly decorated in the Italian colors.
The Sons of Italy Drum and Bugle Corps from Haverhill, Massachusetts.
performance, Maureen. The Sons of Italy Drum and Bugle Corps from Haverhill, Massachusetts, putting on a great show. That's my favorite band.
What are we looking at here, Al? We've got a beautiful float coming up right on the heels. What an act to follow. The Sons of Italy band from Haverhill. Just tremendous, but this may be one to beat it here.
A few more of the Patriot cheerleaders coming into view.
Right.
Very pretty cheerleaders, we should point out.
And you just did point it out. But actually, okay, is this the... I was wondering if that was the Indian head float there, but I guess it's not.
And coming into view is the St. Teresa's Little Flowers from Everett, Massachusetts.
St. Teresa's of Everett drill team you're looking at.
A well-respected group.
The pretty purples there, the pretty colors. Keeping this parade colorful as always. The St. Teresa's of Everett drill team. You see the Domino's Pizza people going by, and they had a truck in the parade earlier, but this is St. Teresa's, the drill team, marching along. All different ages, you notice here. You see the medals around their neck.
A very entertaining parade, Maureen.
Right.
It's had a little bit of everything, as we promised at the top of the show.
Our viewing stand was literally rocking during the Sons of Italy music there, and that was a real treat. Got everyone fired up, and that was a lot of fun.
Well, Maureen, for my Italian heritage, that's a very famous song. So every time an Italian hears that, their spirits go up. It certainly did for me.
Right, and you were dancing around, and no one could see you, but you were actually dancing and twirling around up here, and that was a lot of fun.
A few more costume characters coming into view, Maureen.
Some characters coming into view for sure. Who do we have there, Al? Is it Goofy?
No, I don't believe that's Goofy. That's a new one on me, Maureen.
Well, who is it? Is it Pluto?
No, it might be Pluto. It is Pluto.
Not to be stumped with my characters, of course.
Well, thank goodness you're here today to help me out.
Help me out. That's what you like to see, the characters right up there with the children, up close and personal, shake a hand, take a photo.
As you see, the kids all smiles as they get to hug their favorite characters.
How we doing?
Great.
What a beautiful day, huh?
What a beautiful day. We're here with the Mayor of Revere, Bob Hass. Bob, what do you think of the parade?
I think it's absolutely tremendous. You know, if anyone was up this morning at 5 a.m. and heard the pitty patter of the rain, we thought it was going to be a washout. But look at it right now. Sun's out, street is dry, place is clean, and people are smiling and having a good time.
Is it a thrill for you being the mayor in this quincentennial with the 500th anniversary? What a time to kick off the administration and have your first march as mayor.
That's absolutely tremendous. But again, it'd be a tremendous thrill to be mayor at any time.
Okay.
But again, especially with the 500th anniversary, the 86th birthday of St. Anthony's, and to have a parade of this magnitude in Revere. Tremendous, tremendous for the city, tremendous for its residents. And as you look around, Maureen, everyone's smiling, having a good time, and just, that's what it's all about, enjoyment.
It was a beautiful day, and the committee did a great job, and you're all to be commended, and we're having a great time. Thanks for stopping by and speaking with us.
Thank you for having me once again.
Okay.
Thank you.
That was the mayor of Revere, Robert Hass, speaking about the parade, and he's having a lot of fun up here on the reviewing stand in front of St. Anthony's. As he mentioned, the 86th birthday of St. Anthony's Church, which is also a thrill, along with the quincentennial. Al, who do we have going by here?
I'm trying to get the name here. It's the Jet Barries, I guess.
From Saugus, Massachusetts. And what a group there. What a bunch of uniforms on the group there from Saugus.
Absolutely elegant.
Was it the Barry Band we saw there from Saugus?
Jet Barry group. That's what it said on their drums, the Jet Barry.
Okay. Not listed, but we're in Division 3. Seeing a group go by there that says Discover Reading. Discover Reading, promoting reading, and reading is a major tool of education.
That's so very important. Knowing how to read, so very, very important, no matter what you do in life.
Okay, and what do we have here? The Abraham Lincoln School PTA. The 25th anniversary, it says on their sign there, the Abraham Lincoln School PTA.
And another colorful float.
Right. And that's a nice group to be participating there. You can see young Abe Lincoln there on the front of the float from the Abraham Lincoln School PTA. They have their own float dressed in their colors of blue and white.
As the child that's portraying Abraham Lincoln is really getting into it as he's waving to the crowd.
There's Abe Lincoln.
I don't think it's
How
too much.
often do you see a president this close, Al?
I know, really. I'm on it. I don't think there was much persuasion in getting him to be Abraham Lincoln here today.
The children from the Abraham Lincoln School and the PTA, and that's what it's all about, and that's the float there going by. And that's great.
It's nice to see parents helping to support their kids with programs, especially like this.
Right, and you can see
Be out
that
there.
it's the 25th anniversary for the school, and they are thrilled, they're celebrating, and they had Abe Lincoln himself right there on the front.
And this is the Murray Unicyclist team.
This is something a little different, the unicyclists we see there. Always wondered how one gets on and off of those things, Al, and maybe we'll be lucky enough to see somebody. Carefully, I was told. The
Something
Murray
like-
unicyclists there.
Maureen, something like that must take a lot of hours of hand and eye coordination and a lot of practice.
Looks like a lot of fun, though.
It does. Another famous bagpipe group, the Colonial Pipers from Boston, Massachusetts. Speaking of Winnie the Pooh, there he is.
And there we see the Revere Girl Scouts, Troop 40, the Revere Girl Scouts Troop 40, Troop 86, the Revere Girl Scouts. And Troop 122, the Revere Girl Scouts marching by, Troop 123. And this just shows you how many Girl Scouts there are in Revere, Al, to see all these different troops going by.
You don't have to tell me, Maureen. I was hit about 4 or 5 times
With the cookie sales.
With the cookie sales.
And what's your favorite cookie, Al?
They're all my favorites.
The mints. I think you look like a mint man to me. A thin mint. Okay. Now the Revere Brownie Troop, 142, I believe it said. Troop 156. So you're seeing the Brownies and the Girl Scouts.
You know, Maureen, looking over this crowd, I think the happiest guy that's all smiles, we had him on just a few minutes ago. It's the mayor. The mayor's like a little kid here out here today.
Troop 353 of the Brownies. And I'm just wondering, Al, if the first Girl Scouts we saw a while ago were the VFW Post 6712 Cub Scouts and Girl Scouts. And if so, and we didn't announce them, we apologize and announce them now from Division 1. Troop 464 from the Brownies going by right now. Troop 87 from the Girl Scouts. And these Girl Scouts are really stretching all around the street. They've been going by and just droves here.
But the thing is, Maureen, it's nice to see the Girl Scouts out in full force like that. It's showing how strong of a program they have here in the city of Revere.
Right. Troop 106, you see the green hats, the green costumes, the Girl Scouts of all different ages, and their troop leaders waving. Troop 504, they did great on their cookie sales this year. Troop 1041 waving there. They have their sweatshirts that say Revere Girl Scouts, still going strong. Obviously, as you can see, the Girl Scouts of Revere. And that's the tail end of the Girl Scout troops there going by.
And also coming into view is Papagino's. Why don't you explain to our viewers at home what Papagino's and Continental Cable have in store? A little surprise to the viewers.
Well, just a little bit. If you sign up for Nesson, you get a free large pizza. And you know all about Nesson with the sports games, Al. But I know about the pizza. And
well, pizza and
that's
Nesson go hand in hand.
Now we have Nicole Zervis Dance Studio. And I think they'll be performing a dance for us. So Nicole Zervis Dance Studio. And we'll see what they have in store for us. They get their music started and do a routine.
Another talented group of dancers.
I think that's a lot of the dance style they call the street funk dancing, the street dancing.
You got me on that one, Maureen.
Hip hop, my cameraman's saying, because he's a little more hip hopping than I am, I guess. And I think they also, one of the dance studios teaches a class in cheer funk, which sounds exciting. You know, teaching the different moves, and you can see how it's kind of that street dancing combination. And that was really, really great. A lot of energy. And now we're looking at some more Girl Scouts going by. Troop 1778 from Chelsea. Patriots Trail. Another Girl Scout troop there from Chelsea going by on the heels of a dance demonstration. And I love the dance demonstrations. Celebrate 500. Another float.
With more of the New England Patriots
cheerleaders. Happy 500th birthday, America. New England Patriot cheerleaders. And some local girls in there from Lynn and Revere. And those floats are just great, colorful.
We touched on the native daughter, who is a member of the New England Patriots. Once again, Deanne Mantia.
And I think going by there is the Saugus Wampanoagwin, and I get points for saying that word, Twirling Corps.
You did that so well.
From the Saugus. Wampanoagwin Twirling Corps you're watching right now in the town of Saugus. The Little Feathers, they're called. So you can see all the traces of Indian heritage coming through there, Al. Twist again if it's not loud enough for you, in the Twirling Corps there, and they're twisting their batons. That's what they're doing and dancing for us.
Now, Maureen, that's the kind of music I could relate to.
The Saugus Wampanoagwin's Twirling Corps. Let's twist again.
I may be dating myself by saying that.
Okay, and is this the Boy Scouts going by there? So they're heading down around the bend of Revere Street, the Boy Scout troop.
Like we said about the Girl Scouts, the Boy Scouts also a dedicated organization.
Right.
And they should be commended for being out
This
here.
is one of my favorites, the Next Door Theater Group of Revere, and they put on their performances at Revere High School. And this has always been my favorite. Let's see if it lives up to it this year. I love when they perform and dance, and I just think they're fabulous. The Next Door Theater Troupe is what you're looking at right now in the Revere Columbus Day Parade. The troupe from the Next Door Theater, and that was a routine from West Side Story that they'll be performing soon, November 13th and 14th, and November 20th and 21st at 8 p.m. at Revere High School. So the Next Door Theater, you can keep your eye out for that. And they've put on a lot of great performances over the year. The King and I is one that I saw and enjoyed.
The King and I, a very famous Broadway play.
Right. Pippin.
With Yul Brynner.
They're an award-winning troupe, and you see it there, West Side Story coming up soon, and there are the dates on the side, November 13th, 14th, November 20th, and 21st. When people work that hard on things, it's great to go out and see it. It's a great show right here in Revere at the high school, and you just got a sample of it then. Here's a group from McDonald's. And what do they call the man there with the moon? Mac the Knife?
Mac the Knife.
Mac tonight.
Mac tonight.
Okay. And the Hamburglar. I knew him. And this is that the Noid? What do they call him?
The Noid from, I believe,
Domino's?
from Domino's Pizza.
Okay. The Pack from Our Lady of Lourdes. Revere. So we've seen the Cub Scouts and the Boy Scouts marching through here.
Well represented here this afternoon.
Our Lady of Lourdes. You see the Cub Scouts, the Boy Scouts.
The Girl Scouts.
The Girl Scouts, the Brownies. We've seen them all. So Al, do you have a favorite so far, or is it?
I have several favorites.
Okay. I think the Sons of Italy band from Haverhill got the largest crowd reaction so far. The music was great.
I wonder why that is.
I also like the dancing. Agnes Strecker did a great job. Okay, we're looking at the Prospect Drum and Bugle Corps here, and they're from Torrington, Connecticut.
Quite a distance to come.
It is, but once again, it shows you the importance of this parade and how hard the committee worked to get such great talent coming here. The Prospect Drum and Bugle Corps from Torrington, Connecticut. You can see the costumes there are great as they head around the bend, around the corner to the end of the parade down by the Paul Revere School. The parade starts at the southern end of Broadway, comes all the way down around the corner and ends at the Paul Revere School. The crowd is steady all along the route.
Coming into view is the Ganji Bay State Strutters.
And they're out of Woburn, Massachusetts, the Bay State Strutters. There's some twirling there. What a toss. The Bay State Strutters from Woburn, Massachusetts. See another float coming into view, and all the floats you'll notice, Al, pointing out the 500th anniversary. Celebrate that 500th. This is Operation Crime Watch Revere, this float. And this is important because October is the month for crime prevention in Revere. We'll be highlighting that with an Ask the Mayor show on cable TV, learning all about Crime Watch, Operation Crime Watch in the city.
And of course, how fitting, McGruff the crime dog.
Here. Right, we see McGruff up there on the front, McGruff the crime dog up there on the front, waving to everyone, saying take a bite out of crime, get involved in neighborhood crime watches, and help turn the city around, right? And October's the month to begin that. And who do we have coming up here, Al? Is this the Belmont High School Band?
Belmont High School Marching Band, one of the best marching bands in the state. They perform all over the state during the course of a year. Also, they perform at all Belmont High School football games. I've had an opportunity to watch them. They are considered one of the best bands in the state, Maureen.
You just see the professionalism. High School Band, and that brings us into Division 4 of the parade. And who are those characters, Al? Is that Red Riding Hood
and
the Big Bad Wolf?
Red Riding Hood, Darth Vader from the famous movie Star Wars, and also Yoda.
And Chewbacca.
And Chewbacca. Say that real fast 10 times.
Adjusting
the Revere Special Olympics.
We've got the Revere Kiwanis members going by there.
And also Revere Special Olympics decorating the car.
Promoting the Revere Special Olympics. Kiwanis Jail Day. Kiwanis Jail Day is one of their big fundraisers when they have people put in jail, and the bail money all goes to support their different charities.
And we've been very happy to do it the past couple of years that we've had the opportunity to do it. We've enjoyed it, Maureen.
Right. We've also got the members of the Revere Rotary going by here. look at this. We've got the Beantown Trolley, Al, and they're sightseeing, but what's in there is a band. Mayor Bob Hass, it says on the side, the Fun Time Trolley. This is the Bridgewater Brass Society Band. Bridgewater Antiphonal Brass Society Band in the trolley. It's an annual treat, and they always have a sign celebrating the mayor of the city. The Bridgewater Antiphonal Brass Society Band. Always a treat, always colorful.
And coming into view are the Mario Brothers.
The Mario Brothers, Mario and Luigi from Nintendo. There they are, live and in person, not in the Nintendo screen.
Also coming into view is Catwoman, Batman,
I don't
and
know
Yoda.
if that's Michelle Pfeiffer, but it's Catwoman.
Now that's Yoda. There's Yoda. I made a
There's
mistake
Yoda.
earlier.
Batman and Catwoman. And these could be the real ones because we know they're not the movie ones.
I know.
And Mickey Mouse. He's right here. He flew in from Disney on the red eye.
Mayor Hass did a great job of getting Mickey Mouse here today.
Colonial Band from Lawrence, Massachusetts. The Colonial Band of Lawrence you're looking at right now. Okay, Al, that was the Colonial Band from Lawrence, Massachusetts. Always a crowd-pleasing tune. We see the
Another dance
characters
studio.
again.
Also another dance studio coming into view.
Okay. We've
Something-
got some characters here, right? What does that say? Something brewing?
Brewing at Debbie's Dance Studio.
Okay, there's something brewing at Debbie's Dance Studio.
I don't know if I want to go there with those
We'll
characters.
have to go down and see what's brewing for ourselves. And now we've got the cheerleading group here, the Revere
High school cheerleaders.
High School cheerleaders. Okay.
Actually, let's check that one.
And they're going to perform for us now.
Actually, it
so
is the
we'll
Revere
sit
Patriot
back
cheerleaders.
and enjoy. Hey, the Revere Patriot cheerleaders, Alan. They are an award-winning troupe, and they also sent some of their cheerleaders to London for what was called Cheer London. So they are really, really great cheerleaders.
That
You
must
can
have been
just
a
see the
wonderful
work
experience.
that goes into that. And the junior varsity cheerleaders and the pom-pom girls. We have them all, the Revere Patriots. was seeing
You can
the
see why
Revere.
they're an award-winning team, just that
That's
little
right.
bit.
That's right. I know what that's all about, Al, from cheerleading days.
And where did you
Cameraman's
cheerleader out
shaking
of?
his head. I don't
And
know
where
if
did
he
you
doesn't believe
cheerleader
me or
out
he
of?
just didn't want me to reveal that fact. It's one or the other. At Lynn English High School in Lynn. Champions. But the Revere cheerleaders are the champions now. They're great, they're award-winning, and you just saw why. Now we're looking at the Saugus High School Sachems Marching Band from Saugus, Massachusetts. Saugus High School Sachems Marching Band coming up here, and you can see the Indian dress from the Indian heritage from the town of Saugus. The Sachems. Indian costumes are great.
Another colorful group.
Right. The headdresses. The marching band here. The Sachems from Saugus. These the Junior Patriot Pom-Pom girls, Al? I see the RJP, the
Yes, they are.
Junior Patriots. Junior Patriot Pom-Pom girls rounding the bend there onto Revere Street. Were those the Boston Crusaders, Al? Boston Crusaders
they are.
Drum and Bugle in Division 5.
We talked about the Satyrs, and there's where they get some of the people.
Okay, and you know all about this,
Revere
Al, right?
Youth Hockey, one of the most greatest group of people in the city of Revere. Leading the charge was Mike McPherson.
District 1 champs, it
That's
says.
right, and Mite A's. We want to congratulate them, and we also want to remind the viewers at home, not to plug my own show, but we have them coming in. So tune in and find out when they'll be on.
Okay, the Revere Youth Hockey. I guess they just had all their registrations at the Cronin Rink.
Yep. And we wish them well for the upcoming season. Just wanted to get that in.
Okay, now you've got members of the Revere Recycling Committee that were just slipping by there, and they're interestingly dressed. You've got one man dressed up as a paper bag there telling you what you can recycle, showing you the cans, the aluminum, the glass, the newsprint, the things you can bring down to the recycling center every first and third Saturday at the DPW yard on Charger Street. And you can see the little floats that put together there, the wagons, to show you what you can recycle, and that's right here in Revere, the Revere Recycling Committee. They have something to celebrate. They've been doing a great job. And also the Commission on Handicapped Affairs has a group coming by. You can see the shirts that say Catch the Wave of Ability, and those are the shirts they sell out of the Office of Handicapped Affairs to raise money for different things that they do, like the sign language courses and a lot of things that they do in the city. And the director, Steve Rich, the director of Handicapped Affairs. And I didn't see Steve go by, but we usually see him every year. Once again, Al, things can get a little mixed up when there's a delay in the parade. So if a group goes by and we miss them or they're mislisted, it's difficult. But we try to catch everybody. you know you're coming to the end because it's the Revere Fire Department kind of coming to the end of it all. The police lead it off, the firemen close it up. But before that, we've got a little bit more.
We should point out, Maureen, one important thing about the Revere firefighters and the police department. Without them, we wouldn't be able to do anything.
That's right, Al. A group to celebrate. Now, Rain Street Race. The Boston Crusaders drumming bugle. And the Revere Fire Department, driven by Steve Delina, a superhero fireman here in the city of Revere. The Revere Fire Department trucks. You see the ladder truck there and the pump truck going by.
As I was saying about the police and the fire in this city, the folks in the city of Revere should be very proud of both departments. That's what I was trying to say.
Right, out here showing their support. The police started off and the firemen close it out. And that's the end of Division 5 for the 1992 Revere Columbus Day Parade. Okay, and that wraps it up, I guess, for the 1992 Columbus Day Parade. We're here on the reviewing stand in front of St. Anthony's Church. We just saw the fire trucks go by. It's officially over, the 500th celebration, at least for this parade. And Al, what did you think?
I thought it was an excellent parade. It was my first parade. I enjoyed it a lot. I want to come back next year again and watch another great parade. And we also want to thank St. Anthony's for providing us with this great reviewing stand.
Right, and the parade committee for the city of Revere did a great job. What was your favorite?
They were all my favorites, Maureen. I couldn't single out one particular group. I think they were all great.
Okay. I guess I'll have to agree with that. We'll be very neutral this year, but it was a wonderful parade. We had a great time. We hope you enjoyed watching it. I'm Maureen Hayes for Continental Cablevision. We'll see you again next year.